Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of An Unlikely Friendship. And today's episode 12, our what's the word? Penultimate episode?
It's the beginning of the finale,
The
just
beginning
one
of
more
the end.
episode. Okay, same thing. Yeah.
And then today, I mean, it's not really like I don't know if we have one specific topic, but it's
No.
pretty much like our wrap up episode because our next episode is going to be our very last episode. We made it. We did
Yeah.
it,
Well, we
even though we
didn't make
almost,
it yet.
well, okay, yeah, but like, even though, remember around episode 4, we really wanted to
Yeah.
quit.
Yeah. But we stuck it through for our 0 fans, so
Yeah, and somehow we've made it to mid-August, which is insane. Like,
yeah.
I honestly can't believe it's been 8 months. This year, it's like nothing has happened, but it's flown by.
I mean, the pandemic happened. Yeah.
See, as a worldly thing, the pandemic happened, but like, how much did it? I mean, it obviously did affect your life, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You didn't really do anything as a result of the pandemic.
Before you know it, 2021, it's gonna be a great year, maybe.
Yeah, literally, it's like a lot of things happened in 2020, but also nothing happened. I didn't do anything in 2020, and the whole year is like
You
over.
graduated.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yay.
yeah. I ordered my freaking grad picks finally yesterday. I can't believe how expensive it was. What
Yeah,
a
how many
scam.
did you order?
So the thing is, um, like there's different package options, right? Where you can do like it gives you like one big photo and then a bunch of little
Hmm.
ones, and you, depending on the package, you get to pick how many different poses, right?
Yeah.
I think even if you just want one, it's like $130. So the one I got was a $370 package plus tax. And
Oh my God.
see, I think it made the most sense just because the ones where they give you physical copies, even the ones for like 3 poses were already like 200 something, $300. So this digital one, you get to pick 16 poses and you get the digital copies, and then you can print however many you want in however many different sizes. Like you get
Wait,
the
so
actual,
you don't get any physical copies for 300 something.
no, you just
You
get the
literally just
digital
get
photos.
I could have taken digital photos of you and
See, grad photos are such a scam.
you should have just bought the gown. You could have probably bought the gown and the cap and then just did your own photos somewhere. Get your sister to take it. It would have been like way cheaper than 370 plus tax.
Yeah, obviously. Also, they had another option, which was the same sort of package, except it's with retouching, which is so they'll
Oh,
retouch the
yes.
photos.
So you
That
look
one's like
better.
$480.
Yeah. Can't fix ugly. Well, I mean, it costs money to fix ugly.
You know, all they do is they make your teeth whiter, and then they also can do your eyeballs to make them
Yeah.
whiter as well, which is kind of scary. I feel
They
like,
probably also slim you down, right? I mean, it's not that scary. It's probably like I bet they just use like Snapchat filters. It's like,
oh God, I could do that.
yeah,
Um,
can't believe you paid that much.
yeah, I should
Are you planning to
actually.
print them out though?
I think so. At least mom wanted the ones where I'm in like cap and gown and stuff. So I don't know. We'll see. They also sell like picture frames, right? Their
Oh,
picture
don't.
frames are so damn expensive.
Yeah, just buy somewhere else. It's like when we actually graduated, you could buy like frames for your degree.
Yeah.
They're like freaking ridiculously expensive, but I guess it's like it's your degree, right? Like it's worth the money, I guess. But it's like no, like yeah, I didn't hate my degree.
Oh my God. I just realized I forgot where I put my degree. I need to go find it.
You don't need it. You're gonna be a
Oh
project
crap.
manager.
They definitely charge you if you lost it and you want a
Yeah,
new
you want a
copy,
new
don't
one.
they?
Oh, here's something interesting. Look, I bought a new lab notebook because I mean, it's almost been a full year, and my lab notebook is actually, I have maybe like 2 or 3 pages left. So I bought one, and this one's red. And then I bought also like a blue one and also a green one. Hopefully that'll last me 3 years. And then for my final year, I'll buy a new one or something.
What does it look
Yeah.
like inside? Just plain lines?
Yeah, it's not exactly the best. It's also kind of, well, this was like $10. It just has like, it's just like a normal thing. It has like little area for
Oh.
your page numbers and stuff. But I don't know, I like it. It's like hardcover. It's
Where'd you
decent
get it?
size.
Like the university
Amazon.
bookstore? Oh.
The bookstore's closed, and I could have waited until September because I think they're reopening it. But then I'll have to wait in line for like 7 years to get in, and then like it's probably also super expensive. So
What were we talking about before?
I don't know, but I think we're ready to get started on our wrapping up episode.
Okay, should we start with my car story, I guess?
Yes, finally, we can have your car story immortalized.
We briefly mentioned it in the last episode, but we ran out of time to fit it in. So it's really not that exciting. So I don't think anyone else is really listening. So it's just going to be us listening again in like 5 years. But
it's because there was one time. Let me start your car story, okay? Why this car story stood out to me so much was because it was probably one of the first couple times we went to actually play Pokemon Go, I think. So, because like me and Katie didn't used to hang out in person a lot, but when we started, it was because we went for Pokemon Go.
That is how we started hanging out. That's really the only times we ever hung out, to be honest.
At least me and you alone. Like we would sometimes have like mutual friends or like our double dates and stuff.
Okay, yeah, I don't know why we went on those double dates. They weren't really double dates.
But anyways, it was one of the first couple ones, and Katie was telling me a story where a car backed into her car, and it literally took like 40 minutes. And that's kind of when I first started noticing that Katie's not very good at telling stories because it's just so long-winded. But yeah, anyways, I'll let you explain.
It's just because I like to include all of the details and not leave anything out because I don't want you to miss anything. But I don't think it was 40 minutes. But anyway, okay, it's been a really long time since I've told this story. I honestly don't even remember when that happened. Would have been a couple years ago now.
I'm literally just gonna let you think it through. So 5 years from now, when we listen back, you'll listen to yourself and you'll be like, "Oh my gosh, really bad at telling stories."
I already know I'm bad at telling stories. Yeah, I guess it was a couple years ago. Basically, I think I still had my N at the time, and I definitely include lots of unnecessary details. So I had to go pick up my sister at the mall, and I took my dad's car, and then I got into the parking lot, and I don't really know how to describe it. Okay, you know what? I had to pick up my sister, and I stopped the car in a position that was like perpendicular to where all the cars are parked, if that makes sense. So like I was perpendicular, stopped behind a bunch of parked cars that were parked in their stalls. And I was just stopped there. And then I think I texted or called my sister that like, hey, I'm here, come out. And then I think she did. She got in the car. And then as she was getting in the car or as I was about to pull away, I think I had like my hazards on and everything. This freaking lady who was not on the side closest to me, but on the opposite side of the road, or like where the stalls are on the other side of the car.
It makes more sense if you can actually see her move her arms.
Oh yeah. All right. Okay. I forget sometimes that they can't see. But I guess it's like on the driver's side, so on the opposite side where the other stalls are. This freaking lady started backing up, and I was stopped behind her. And I was stopped there for a while, and she just kept backing up, and then she actually freaking backed her freaking giant ass SUV into my dad's car. And I was so shocked. Also, though, I'm very non-confrontational, and I just didn't really know what to do. And my sister was like, "What the hell? Like, at least honk." So then she honked our horn because I think that lady wasn't even gonna stop. Like, literally, she was just gonna drive away. And then my sister honked the car, and then I got out, and then I guess she stopped, and then she got out. And then, I went over there, and I was literally like, like, hello, lady, you backed into me. And then she looked at me like, you were driving? She just kept asking me like, you were the one driving? And I'm like, yeah, I was the one driving. And then she kept asking me that. And that just, she was really trying to like belittle me or something. Like, what the heck, lady?
It's probably because you looked like you were like 4 years old, and it's like, dude, are you sure you were driving? Or
Why would I lie about that?
at the same time, you could have been like, no, I was parked. You dumb piece of like, backed into a parked car.
Yeah, I was literally stopped there, and she freaking just backed into me. Luckily, her SUV had like a bumper, which is like plastic, right? So it didn't actually do any damage to either of us. And then, like, I was talking to her, and like she was the one who backed into my car, which was freaking stopped there. So it was definitely her fault. So then I think I started asking her like for her insurance information, and she was like, "No, I'm not giving it to you." And I was like, "What the hell, lady?" And then, well, I didn't say that, but she would literally not give me her insurance information. And then she's like, "You can take a picture of my license plate." And I'm like, dude, what the heck? But like, how am I supposed to force her to give me her information if she's not going to give it to me, right? But then I think I took pictures of the back of her car as well as the back of my dad's car, but there wasn't any damage, so I didn't actually have to contact like ICBC or anything.
That's good.
Yeah, and then yeah, the whole time she just kept being like, "Are you sure it's like you're the one who's driving or whatever?" And I'm like, "Yeah, lady, I already answered this question. Stop asking me."
She was probably confused too.
It was her fault. I just found her so rude. She was like this middle-aged white lady. Ugh. Honestly, it was her fault, and she was just so rude about it. God. Yeah, I mean, and then that's what happened, and then we drove away. That's the story. I don't think it was like 5 minutes.
Yeah, but I think it's because now you remember part of the story. Do you know what I mean? Like the way I remember the story was you stuttered a lot. You didn't even say your sister was in the car until maybe like 10 minutes in, because you were just thinking like, why was I there? I think I was at Quom Center, the SkyTrain. Maybe I was waiting for someone, and then like it was just
way.
It was the slowest story. If I could
think
go
you're
back
exaggerating.
in time, if I could go back in time and record how long and painful that story was.
There's no way. Also, maybe I've become better at telling stories.
Maybe, but I'm not gonna give that to you yet, because we'll see. If you tell more stories, then we'll see. But why don't I tell the story? I've only been in one real car accident. Like, I've broken my side mirror once because I was an idiot.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I didn't actually break off, luckily, but it just got dented. But yeah, I got rear-ended once because some guy cut me off, so I braked, but then the guy behind me didn't brake fast enough, so then like he bumped into me, and yeah, that was weird. Both of us, like, he was an older like gentleman, but he was saying like, I don't actually know what to do either. He's like, this is my first time, and I'm like, yeah, me too. So like we just took pictures of each other's license, and then just kind of like talked it through. It was my dad's car, so like I just kind of like gave it to my dad, and then I know we went through ICBC to get it fixed, but he obviously, because he rear-ended, like it was his fault. So
was the damage bad? When was this?
It wasn't that bad, actually. It was bad enough that like the bumper was definitely dented inwards, but like it wasn't like I could still drive my car kind of thing. It wasn't that bad, but yeah, it was. We just had to get the entire bumper replaced, so it was like $1,000 something or something. Yeah.
Wait, like you had to pay $1,000?
No. Like it was like $1,000, but then insurance covered it.
Okay.
Lucky us.
When was that though?
Maybe 2 years ago, I think. I remember we were actually going to a friend's house, so we were just driving, and then all of a sudden we got hit, and we're we're gonna be late. But yeah.
Oh, were you with your girlfriend?
Yeah, it was so funny. Like, because I also have a dash cam, right? So you could clearly see when we got hit. Then there's like a maybe 1 second delay, and then my girlfriend screams, and it's like you didn't have to scream. Like it was like we've already been hit. Like it's too late. But yeah, and
That's
it
funny.
honestly felt like bumper cars.
Huh.
Yeah, it was just like the weirdest thing. Like when it first hit, I was like, oh wow, like gave me flashbacks to PNE playing bumper cars. Yeah.
I've been go-karting once. Oh no, more than once, but
Wow, look at
this
you.
one time that I went, I swear I stepped on the brake, but it didn't work. And so I freaking rear-ended my friend.
Oh man.
And oh, it's the friend that everyone apparently we haven't talked in like 2 years now. But
yeah.
yeah,
He
I
definitely
rear.
liked you.
I don't know about that, but anyway.
So funny. Katie used to have this like really close guy friend, and I mean, I thought it was well, not painfully obvious, but I thought he liked her. Like even when I first met Katie, I was like, okay, like no one would
What?
ever, no one would ever go out with you in like the middle of the night for fun.
Why? I'm fine. You and our other friend who we're gonna call
he
George.
liked you too.
Oh damn, you're right.
Yeah, like.
Well, but even after it was, I think even after it was
But
pretty obvious he
I
didn't
think it
have
was just
a
a
chance.
really fun. I think I said this in a previous podcast, or maybe not, but it was just really fun. So me and my friend, we're gonna call him George, just because. Yeah, but yeah, we'd always go for like dinners and stuff, and then after dinner, we'd be like talking, and we'd just be like, "Oh, you want to like, what do you want to do?" And it's like, "Oh, do you think Katie's free?" And we'll be like, "I don't know." So like we'll call Katie and be like, "Yo, where are you at?" And she'll be like, "Oh, I'm at home. Like I'm in my pajamas and stuff." I'm like, "Oh, you want to come out?" And she'll be like, not really. I don't really want to come out and stuff. And we'll just be like, oh, that's okay. Like we can drive you and stuff. And she'll be like, oh, I don't want you to go out of the way. And we'll be like, we're like literally 3 minutes away. We've been like driving to your house already, kind of thing. But also because Katie lives really close to us, so it was honestly like a 10-minute drive at tops. So like, yeah, it'd just be really funny. Then we'll like be parked outside of her house and just be like, yeah, we're here, like ready anytime. And then she'll always be like, no, I don't want to come. And we'll be like, I mean, we're already here. It's kind of rude if you don't. And stuff like that. And like, we're always like, I think like, I only remember once when she actually didn't come out. But I think that was also because it was actually very late. But yeah, it was funny. Like, it would just be like, oh, we can get Katie to come out.
Anyway, see, you guys hung out with me randomly at night.
Yeah, but that was different. It's not like a solo thing, do you know what I mean? I wouldn't hang out with like one-on-one with someone unless like, well, I guess.
Well, I mean, I think it's also different because you're in a relationship.
Yeah.
He wasn't, so I mean, to me, we were very like strictly platonic. And like I don't know, I had fun, and then it'd just be fun to hang out sometimes because like him and I both used to stay up late, so why not just hang out? But anyway, yeah.
Don't know how we got to that, but
oh, I rear-ended him, right? Okay, so
yes.
I swear to God, I braked, but it didn't work. And then
I bet you pressed the gas pedal instead.
No, I didn't. But anyway, I slammed into him because I was going like full speed, and we were going like the race was over or whatever, so we had to pull in, and I was braking, but it didn't work. So I literally just smashed into him, and apparently, like I basically gave him whiplash because I hit him pretty hard.
Oh yeah, no, I can see you can get a whiplash from that. Yeah, this is why you don't like Katie drive. Just kidding.
Hey, you said before, I remember clearly, you said my driving's not bad.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's not bad. Seen better, seen worse.
I mean, I'm definitely not saying I'm the best driver. I also don't think I'm the worst.
Yeah.
Have I ever told you, with my boyfriend, when we went down to Seattle last year with his friends for like Thanksgiving, his friend drove us. So it was the four of us. You know what? It was the couple where I don't like that girl. But anyway, um, so her boyfriend was the one who was driving. Oh God, literally, he drives so stiff. He drives like this the whole time, but like his arms are so straight. And because he's so stiff with it, and he's constantly like this, you can literally feel every time he's like, when you're like this and you're so stiff, you are moving the wheel a little bit like this, just like
Damn.
small movements. Literally, you can feel it as a passenger. The car's going like this. It's awful. It was so horrible.
Was he driving like a manual car?
No. It was a freaking automatic BMW. And like, yeah, he was driving, and on the way there I was sober, but then so he drove us back, obviously, and I was hungover that day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I almost puked in his car. And
Did you say something
so
like, "Hey, buddy, you're kind of a bad driver"?
No, I didn't. But then apparently at one point some of his other friends sat in the back of his car for like a short ride, and they also noticed that his driving's really not great, and apparently he tried to give him pointers just like nicely, like, hey, maybe just like relax your hands a little bit, kind of thing.
Maybe don't move the wheel back and forth just randomly.
Yeah, like, oh God, I've never been in a car. Like, oh, it was so awful.
That sucks.
Anyway, we got sidetracked again, I think.
Don't worry, I'm trying to make this episode 2 hours long, so sidetrack as much as you want.
No!
We've only gotten 1 point down, and it's like been 30 minutes. So
Okay, moving on. Jamocha, why don't you tell this? Because I think for some reason this is more memorable to you. You really like this story.
This was fun though. I think it's one of my favorite memories of Katie, because there was this one time. I mean, all our stories kind of start off with Pokemon Go. So
Well, that's literally because other than the one time you came back for Christmas this past year, the only times we've hung out at all, just us. And even then, it started to become a big group thing.
Yeah, honestly,
and then we were so nerdy.
Yeah, I mean, so just with the Pokemon Go thing, we started playing because there was these community days. So every month we can catch a shiny. I think we might have talked about this before, but it started with just Katie and I. Then I invited one of my other friends, and then my girlfriend and like another group of friends, and like it started getting. We had like 7-ish people or something. Maybe not. Maybe 6.
6, I think. 6,
but yeah, anyways, it started getting it kind of beat the purpose. Like, I like to think when we first started, we were kind of hanging out and then would play it on the side. But then when you have 6 people, it's like you're just playing the game and there's not much conversation going on.
Also, it's like very obvious what we were doing.
But yeah, it was still fun though. But Jamocha, that was another day. But it was just me, Katie, and George.
Yeah.
I don't like the name George, but
yeah, I don't really either, unless you want to switch the name. But
no, doesn't matter. Whatever. But anyways, so we go to this place called. Well, we play Pokemon Go.
It's also because I forced him to come because he doesn't normally play with us.
Because it's lame.
Yeah. Hey, you know what though? I think it's really funny because I remember he would say that, like, he would still check like Pokestops and stuff, but it's embarrassing. So he would say he'd hide it and he'd just pretend he's doing something else on his phone and turn the brightness all the way down so people can't see.
It's an embarrassing game. I wonder if people still play it. I wonder how it is.
I'm pretty sure they do. I'm sure they do. Because especially like every once in a while they come up with new stuff, right?
But I mean, I really haven't played since the last time we played.
Same. I'm pretty sure that's the last time I opened it. But yeah, anyway, so I pretty much forced him to tag along with us because I just showed up at his house because I knew he was home and he wasn't doing anything.
Yeah, and then so we go and play, and this is my memory, okay, so chime in anytime. But then Katie starts going like, oh, I'm so hungry and stuff like that, and we're like, okay, fine, like, we'll go eat something. So we decided to go to Jamocha, which is this pasta place It used to have a buy one get one free. So like if you buy one pasta, they give you a pasta for free. But when we went there, I think it stopped and like it was just cheaper if you buy two pastas. I think it was like two pastas for like $24 instead of like 17 for one or something like that. That's why it was expensive. Like when we went as like the three of us. But anyways,
Oh, did they not have that anymore? Buy one get
no,
one?
like I remember you said after the meal, you're like, wasn't that kind of expensive? And I looked at it, I'm like, yeah, that actually was. Like it wasn't what it normally is. But anyways, so we go in with three people. We thought it was like the buy one get one free kind of deal. So obviously we're gonna get four pastas, right? Because there's like three of us.
Yeah, two wouldn't have been enough. And
Yeah.
then four, we were like, will we be able to finish it? We're not sure, but it's better to get more.
Yeah, and also it's because we actually finished four before, but with a different friend.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
your other friend that you tried
Yeah.
to match make me with, sort of.
That was more of a joke though, but yeah. He's a nice guy. But anyways, yeah, so we've already had four pastas before and we finished it, right? And this time Katie was like, oh, I'm so hungry and stuff. So we're like, okay, well, we can just get four again. And then, so like we order and then they bring us garlic bread and we eat it. And then the waiter comes again and she just asks us like, oh, do you guys want more garlic bread? And I vividly remember I looked to George and we're like, no, like we're good because we have four pastas coming, right? Like there's no way we need more. And Katie's like, yes, please. And
I'm so hungry.
I know, but then we're just looking at each other like, okay, fine, whatever. They bring more garlic bread, we eat it. Then they bring the first couple pastas. And because we wanted to try all of them, so we kind of just put them in the middle and then you kind of just scoop a bit onto your plate and then just eat it that way, right? But then so we were just laughing and we're just eating and you can just see Katie like she'll twirl a bit of noodles, like drag it onto her plate and just instantly into her mouth. So it was just like there was just no delay. Like she wouldn't grab enough for like multiple bites. Like she would just grab one bite, like just touch her plate and then just straight into her mouth. So it's just like you're defeating the whole purpose. Like you might as well just eat directly from like the dish because like there was just no delay. And she was also making so much noise, like you would not believe, like because your fork was like continuously like hitting something and it was just like super loud. And I remember I pointed that out and you're like, oh, like stop, Matt, like I'm gonna make a scene. And I'm like, dude, you're already making a scene. Like you're so loud and stuff. But yeah, anyways, like we just keep eating and stuff and all of a sudden like they bring the fourth pasta and like Katie stops, like she just completely stops and we're like, wait, like you can't do that, right? You can't just stop. We have to eat the fourth pasta. She's like, I'm so full. I'm so full. And so and we're like, dude, what the hell? But yeah, like in the end we didn't finish all of them. I don't think we actually finished everything.
No, we definitely didn't. But did we finish the garlic bread?
I think we finished the garlic bread because we asked for more, so we're like, we might as well finish it. But yeah, anyways, we had all that and that was just I was laughing like the whole way. That was a pretty funny meal. But then, so George and I went to the same middle school. So we decided before heading home, like the three of us would just go to our middle school and we'd just walk by the ravine because that's what we used to play when we were kids, or like when we were in grade 8 and stuff. Literally, we walk out and Jordan and I were just like laughing and like walking. All of a sudden, we turn around and we see Katie. She's just like hugging herself and then just like she looks like this old lady and then she's just like, I'm so cold. And we're like, what the hell, why didn't you bring a jacket? Because it was summer, I think, or nearing the end of summer. But like, yeah, I just remember like it was just so funny. We're just like, why didn't you bring a jacket and stuff? But yeah, anyways, like we walked for maybe like 2 minutes before we had to go back to the car. But yeah, that's my Katie Jamoke story, and that day was just really fun.
I think Matt, for some reason, Matt amongst his girlfriend and George, for some reason, get a lot of enjoyment out of whenever we're eating together. Because they've also definitely made fun of me. I remember I'm pretty sure I have the videos. Because one time we made tacos and ate them together, and they definitely just like laughed at me for how I ate them. And also we went for
Because you
pizza.
ate them weird. Like,
Well, it was falling apart.
So just for a visual representation, I mean, I don't think I'll ever forget it. But pretty much, Katie had the taco. No, most people would kind of like hold the taco normally, but like she kind of put the taco in like her palm of her hand and just kind of ate it that way. Like it was just the
I was
weirdest thing
cradling
possible.
it because it fell
Yeah,
apart.
but then okay, I understand tacos sometimes they'll fall apart. Okay, maybe like it was just an awkward positioning. She did the same thing for pizza. Like it was like the weirdest thing. It was just like, dude, just hold your pizza from the crust and just eat it like a normal person. But no, it was just like kind of like laying on her palm and like, yeah, it was just weird.
The
Katie's a weird
videos are
soul.
actually hilarious, though. I think I have both
I
of
don't know
them.
if I
They're really
have any of
funny.
them. I remember
Um,
having a really embarrassing picture of you, like besides the ones that I have now, like of you like picking your nose.
I'm
But
not
I had,
picking my nose. I was doing my makeup anyway.
but yeah, I have that one where we were at your best friend's house. But I don't know where I
I
put those ones.
I actually really want to see those pictures. Didn't we take some group photos as well? I don't think I've actually ever seen them.
Yeah, it's if they're on a phone, it's on my old phone, and I couldn't access it last time. But yeah, it was funny because so we were playing some game. I think it was Code Names, but pretty much whoever lost, whichever team lost, we would get to draw on the other person's face. So I got to draw on Katie's face. Oh man, like work of art.
Pretty sure you gave me like a
Yeah, I
unibrow.
think I gave you like a mustache. Maybe probably like a poop.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think you
know.
drew something weird on my face, but anyway.
Should do that again.
I mean, that was really fun, but yeah. That was really random too. It was like an odd mix of people as well.
Yeah, no, I remember the only reason why I was even invited because I'm not actually really close friends with your friend,
Yeah.
but sorry, I
I mean,
can't
you're
stop
not
you.
really friends with
Yeah,
my best
but
friend at all.
yeah, like I probably talked to her like 2 or 3 times, but I think it was because one of your friends couldn't make it or something, and you guys wanted the teams to be even. So then George was like, "Oh, like let me see if Matt's free."
Well, anyway, it ended up being a really fun night.
Yeah, remember there was like beer.
Yeah,
Your friend's a good
maybe
host.
she is. Anyway, so now it's time for your life theory or whatever.
I think we gotta like slowly get into my thoughts of life. I mean, I feel like I just talked a lot, so like you gotta give me like a 5 minute break.
What the heck? Stop
I feel
wasting
like
time.
it's not just wasting time, you know. I feel like as a podcast, it's just better if there's more like back and forth, you know. As now that we're seasoned pros at making podcasts, I think it's
After
just
11 and a half episodes.
yeah, just tell me something, you know. Sure, there's a story. What's your favorite time we went to play Pokemon Go?
I don't know if I have a favorite, but I do think I actually enjoyed it more when it was either just us or just us and your other friend, like the three of us, like the
Because you liked him,
smaller.
didn't you?
No,
Just
my
kidding.
God. I don't know. I do remember that one time we were playing and then we got invited to join Coquitlam Go
Oh,
or
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. We should have joined, honestly. It would have
We
been a
never saw
good
them,
story.
or I don't remember ever seeing them again after that.
That's because we normally played in Port Moody. Why was he even there?
That's a good point, but then
Yeah,
sometimes after that we would go to Lafarge and we would never
that's
see
true.
them. There was also that time, the Christmas event. I still
Oh,
the
yes.
second day we went because we
Yeah,
didn't
you
catch all
wasted
of
so much
them.
time.
That was such a waste of a day because we didn't catch a.
Yeah.
Did we even catch a single? Like we
No,
didn't catch anything.
I don't think we caught anything that day. It was just like, oh, a complete waste. One thing that not that I regret, because I'm sure we can do it again whenever I come back, but like, I regret not going to the breweries together. Because we would always play at Rocky Point, and it's right by a bunch of breweries, and yeah, should have went.
Yeah, well, maybe next time. The next time we can go community day again, like 2 years later.
I don't even know if I'll ever time it with a community day, like coming back. Because I remember last time when I came back for Christmas, like last year, it was already over. Like it's like
Um,
earlier in December, and like I don't get that off. So, but yeah, I think I will try to come back in December, depending on how Corona is.
Wait, like this December, really?
Yeah, because I think it would be so sad, like spending like New Year's alone and stuff. Because I know that my girlfriend wants to come back for Christmas, so I don't want to be in Mississauga alone. Well, I guess I'll be moving downtown, so I'll be in Toronto
I mean,
alone.
you'll still be.
And I haven't seen my family in a long time. Actually, my dad's birthday tomorrow.
I mean, the last time you were. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Happy birthday. Like, tomorrow is in.
Oh, so sorry. The 16th.
Okay. The last time you were here was Christmas, I guess,
Yeah.
huh? Yeah. It'll have been a year. Even if you do come back this December.
But yeah, hopefully Corona dies down a little bit more. I know there's no technically any travel restrictions within Canada, so I should be able to come, no problem. But it's just, yeah, I wouldn't want to actually catch Corona and like spread it to my whole family, especially because like I don't want to go back to Vancouver and like not see people. If that makes sense. Like I don't want to actually have to self-isolate for 2 weeks because then there goes my entire vacation and then I fly back and it's like, yeah, who knows? We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
I mean, one day you can come to the East Coast and we'll go on an East Coast road trip if you pay for the car gas and also all the living.
What about Matthew?
I'm poor, dude. Moving downtown is going to cost me an arm and a leg.
I have zero income and I don't know how long this will continue for, so.
Hopefully
like,
not too long.
I did, obviously, like, I pretty much saved, like, almost everything that I made last year when I was working, but it's been a year now, and I think I've gone through maybe about half of it, so,
Damn.
like, I'm not in a bad situation, but it is, like, when you get to the halfway point, at least for me, like, I'm starting to feel like, oh, God, like, I don't want to cut into it too much more, you know?
Don't worry. As I consider you a friend, if you ever need a $200 loan, I'll give it to you.
Thanks.
You don't even have to pay it right away. You can take as long as you want. But yeah, $200. All right. That's how much I'll give you.
Matt, I think it's time for your theory. Stop putting it up.
Okay, I guess it is time because that's like the third point, and then we have a couple more points. That should be around 2 hours, 2.5.
Matt, the other ones are gonna be really long.
Okay, fine. Okay, so my theory of life. I have told my sister, my girlfriend, Katie. I think I told one. I know I told another friend, maybe another one, maybe 5 people in total. And I think out of all 5 of them, my sister gave me the best reaction, which was kind of like, what? like you could tell that she didn't agree with it, but she was like, okay, like Katie was like, what did you say? You were so mean. You're like, oh, that was disappointing or something. Like, it's like, I expected more from you. I'm like, damn, dude. Like, it's just how I justify living. But
I think I might have said something like, that's the most disappointed I've ever been in something you said.
yeah, it was just mean. Like, it
didn't make any sense.
It didn't make sense to you, but it makes sense to me. Okay. But anyways, okay. This comes from grade 11, Matthew. So this is literally 9 years ago. So.
Oh, God. Has it been 9 years?
Okay, maybe 8 years. How old am I? 23, 2020. So 2013 or 2012. So yeah, around 8 years. Grade 11. So yeah, 2013 this year. So like 7 years.
Holy crap, that's really scary when you put it that way. But anyway.
Dude, we're old. I mean, I think we talked about this before, but I don't even consider us young adults anymore. We're just adults that are on the younger spectrum, but we're not young adults. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, grade 11, Matthew, he had a lot of problems, a lot of issues. But pretty much how I justified, like, someone is still honking. Like, I don't know what. But yeah, anyways.
You should literally just yell out your window to shut the F up. They're so annoying.
Yeah, it's like 2 a.m. But anyways, continue. Wait, let me just try to close the blind.
I'm pretty sure you can call the police and file a noise complaint.
I'll actually completely close the window, so maybe that'll be. Anyways, so my viewpoints on life. Okay. All right. So it starts off with Descartes. he was a famous philosopher, and he said that I think, therefore I am. So that the way that I interpret it is that the only person or the only thing that you know is real is yourself. Okay, so you're the only person that actually exists, because everyone else can just be like a figment of your imagination. You can imagine that if you're in like a simulation or something, like you're the only one that you know is real, and everyone else can be fake or doesn't matter, right? And then if that's the case, then you are the main character in your own story, and I think that's true for everyone. So like everyone, like Katie's the main character of her own life. I'm the main character of my own life. And if that's the case, right, if you are the main character of your own life, the life that you're living must be the best life that there is, right? Because if you're the main character, you're not going to have a bad story, right? Like it has to be the best one, right? So this is where it kind of falls apart. Why Katie doesn't like it. But it's like, so I understand that obviously I've made mistakes in my life, and there are certain aspects of my life that aren't the best, but it kind of all leads you to the best life anyways. So like like you can have two choices, right? Like I could slap Katie or I could not slap Katie, and like no matter what choice I make, so like let's say I slap Katie and something happens, like that is the best outcome that could have come from me slapping Katie. Whereas if I didn't slap Katie, that life is the best outcome that I could have gotten from choosing not to slap her. So in this weird way, it doesn't really matter what choice I make, or like at least not that it doesn't matter what choice I make, but no matter what I do, I'll still be having the best outcome from that choice I made. So it's like you don't really have to think too hard about the choices you make.
Like, it's weird because you're just justifying whatever choice you do make as being the best choice just because that's the choice you made, and you couldn't know what would have happened if you'd made the other choice.
Yeah, pretty much. And I think, so obviously that viewpoint is very like selfish, I would say, like, because in that world, right, you're the only person that exists, so all your choices, like, it's very kind of self-centered. So my viewpoint on life is that everyone obviously has their own story, right? So kind of me interacting with Katie is kind of giving her one of those like choices, and like my job in Katie's book is to be like a supporting character that helps her on like choosing the right outcomes kind of thing. So like in a way, like I know that no matter what, like, because I think we talked about it too, right? Where like you just feel so meaningless because there's just so much in the world that like you really don't matter. So like I know that's the case. Like I'm not going to be the next like Einstein. I'm not Bill Gates or anything like that. Like I don't have power over like billions of people. But what I can do is I can affect like the people around me, right? So like as long as you kind of live trying your best to help others, not like, I don't want to sound like so like, oh my God, help everyone and like you're the best, right? But like you don't need to affect everyone, right? You just need to affect the people that you care about and the people that are around you. And I think that is enough to live for. And I don't know, that's kind of my great view of life. No matter what you do, your life will be okay in the end.
Well, now it's out there for us to listen to again in 5 years or whatever, 10 years.
And I'm sure 28-year-old Matthew will be like, damn, that was a good way of explaining it. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe I ought to think of a new way of life. I don't know. I've been living like that, and I feel pretty good.
I am genuinely very, very curious to see where we end up like 5 years from now. Like you said in the last episode, I mean, I don't know if it will happen, but it's possible that I'd be married, and that's already like a huge difference to now.
Oh boy, can't wait to get invited.
I guess so. That I think concludes the. God, it's literally been like I think an hour. That concludes the first half of the episode of like random
what about your
stories.
viewpoints on life?
No, we're not getting into that.
I mean,
I
I'm
think we've
curious.
talked about it anyways in the past.
Not on the podcast. Your viewpoints on life.
Well, what do you mean by life?
So I just told you how I think about life. Like everything I do or everything that happens is going to be the best thing just because.
Well, I think the reason that you told me that in the first place was because I told you, like, I think life is meaningless or something.
Katie
Because I
lives in a
kept
dark
saying really
space.
depressing stuff like we're
Yeah,
really
damn.
small and meaningless and there's no point to life. And then you're like, this is what helps me. And that's why you told me.
Yeah.
So
And then you just shut my dreams down, called me an idiot.
I didn't. I just said I was disappointed.
That's the worst. No, just kidding.
It
I don't
actually
know.
does feel really bad to disappoint people, though,
I think to like
right?
truly disappoint, like I think I don't want to say like I remember any real time that I've disappointed someone so much, but
Anyway, okay, to get on to like the actual topics and not just like random ass stories of this episode, I guess the rest of the episode is sort of just gonna be talking about like next stages, upcoming stuff, which involves like our romantic lives and then just like what's next for us. Which for Matthew is a pretty big step in terms of like both like his own like life and like in terms of his relationship next steps.
yes. So I'm sure we've already briefly mentioned it, but I'm moving to Toronto in 2 weeks or so. So
Yeah,
September
two
1st.
freaking weeks.
Exciting. I'm actually moving in with my girlfriend. So this is going to be kind of our first time that we're living together. So we've definitely been on trips together to Japan, Thailand, stuff like that. But this is really the first time that we will be living together. Kind of stressed. I mean, we still need to find tenants insurance as well as Wi-Fi. I think Wi-Fi will be okay. I think I found the company that I want to get it with. But yeah, and then there's also the whole point because now if I live downtown, it's going to take me a lot longer to transit to school. So that's going to add a large portion of my days are going to be just getting to school and getting back, which
Big sacrifice for you, Matt.
I know. The things you do for love, you know? I don't know why. Like that always reminds me of Game of Thrones.
What
The
does?
things you do for love.
Why? What
Because
part?
that's what I don't know if that's what Jamie says like exactly, but that's what he says when he pushes Bran off the window, like the first episode.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry, spoiler alerts. Yeah. Yeah, so that's pretty much my life. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know
a
what
big
else.
milestone to be moving in, I think,
Yeah.
with your significant other. It's a big step.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. I don't plan on getting married until after I graduate and stuff anyways, so I don't know how this is gonna go. She's only here for a 2-year program, so there's a chance she just stays here for 2 years and then goes back to Vancouver. I know her plan is pretty stiff, I would say. Like she really wants to come back to Vancouver.
Oh,
Like, I don't think she has any, like she's not as open to moving like permanently. Whereas for me, like obviously I love Vancouver. Vancouver's my hometown, home city. But if you're telling me that I have to live in Toronto, I don't think I would be like super opposed, right? But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. There's still a lot of time, a lot of things to think about.
you'd really actually be okay with moving out there pretty much like permanently away from like your family and friends?
Yeah. You guys mean nothing to me, Katie. I mean, like I said, I'm not gonna talk to you after this.
That's really sad, Matt.
You're frozen. I'm just kidding. No, I don't know. Like, obviously, I love my family, and they're very important to me. But I don't feel the need to physically be there. And like, I'd assume if I do get it, like, it's not like I'm moving to the other side of the world or something, right? Like, it is still quite a ways away, but I can always fly back on like a weekend. It's like I think like obviously in the end I still want to move back to Vancouver, but it's just like I feel like I'm more open to staying here if I have to.
So you think like after she finishes her program, she'll pretty much immediately come back
I
here?
think so. I think I guess it also depends on how our relationship is. I mean, because things can honestly change in 2 years.
Hmm.
Especially like I know like they say right like when you move in with someone like it's kind of like a not like a deal breaker, but it is like a big test. So like I don't know how it's gonna go, but I'm fairly certain she wouldn't stay until I finish my PhD. Maybe things will change. Like I think once she gets here and actually like makes new friends, and I think the scariest thing is change, right? Like so like leaving her family and stuff right now is the scariest part. But I think once you're here, it's not actually that bad. Like it's a pretty nice place.
Do you know
It's not as nice like nature wise. Like I think BC is honestly like now that I've lived here for a year, I miss the mountains. I miss my car.
why?
I miss being able to drive and like just go on hikes and stuff. But
I mean, you didn't hike that much to begin with, did you?
that's because I didn't need to, because I knew that the mountains were always there.
What the heck? But do you know if she's actually like scared about moving?
I think so. I mean, this is kind of a guess, but I mean, I know we talked about it briefly, but I know she's pretty adamant about going back to Vancouver. I don't know. In my mind, it's like, why are you so adamant about it before you've even tried living here? But yeah, I think also for her, like family just means more,
Yeah.
and not like my family. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I guess we'll see how things shake out over the next few years.
Yeah,
I think it'll be very interesting to see what happens with our lives,
yeah.
but
No, that's why I think like the last episode we do, so next week, we'll have like a nice little time capsule segment. Just check up on ourselves, because yeah, I've always like said like I wanted to build a time capsule, I wanted to do a time capsule kind of thing, but I never do. Like I did that one with my friends, but we've never opened it again. Which I guess is the whole point of the time capsule. But like I'm also not even really friends with one of them anymore, so it's like yeah. But who knows? Maybe
are you
I
guys
think it's
planning on opening
2024.
that?
I
Oh.
think it's 2024 is when 10 years from since we did it. So
Do you
like
even know if they remember it?
I hope they do. It's like in that time capsule, we wrote something for 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, and 10 years. Maybe if everything goes well, 10 years seems like a good day to open it, but who knows?
You guys didn't actually set a date to open it, though?
No. It was around Christmas time. I don't know. I don't even really know where the box is. I know I have it, but I don't know where it is, but hopefully no one threw it out.
Oh, wait, you guys just have them at home yourselves?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to bury it or anything, right? Because it's like, what if someone moves, or also like, what if someone like you have to get a special box, right? Like I have it in like a not like a cardboard box, but it was like a Dollarama box. So it's like made out of like paper mache. Like it's not gonna last. But,
I think moving in with your significant other is definitely a big next step because as much as you like obviously you guys have been together for a long time, like 5 6 years.
6 years. Yeah.
um Obviously you know each other very well, but I think even then moving in you'll still like learn stuff about each other that you wouldn't have known otherwise
Hmm.
and stuff. So it'll
Yeah.
be
Hopefully it'll be
interesting.
okay. Yeah. I know there's also like financial stress. I think can also be a
Oh yeah.
like difficult. Like I know that at least for me, my finances, I think I'll be fine. But yeah, I think it's just like when you have to talk about money, it starts becoming like a bit more awkward.
I mean, that tends to be actually a big problem in a lot of relationships, doesn't it? Like finance.
Yeah, and especially because we're both technically students, it's not like we have a lot of money to play around with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully, it'll be okay. That's why, and that's one of the main reasons I like why I don't like coming back home in December is because it's so expensive. Like, and especially because I still have to rent the place that I'm living in Toronto, right? It's not like I can just come for 2 weeks and like I'm literally still paying for a place to stay, kind of thing.
But technically, Whether you're renting or if you eventually buy a place and you're paying for a mortgage, you'd still have to do that
Yeah, that's
if
true.
you go away on like vacation, right?
That's true.
The only case that wouldn't be true is if you're living at home and your parents don't make you
Mm.
pay rent or whatever.
But that's why, like, even if you do come by one summer for like a road trip, you're paying for everything, okay, Katie? Just come in 2 years, okay? Two
What the
years
heck,
when
Matthew?
work for a year, save up enough money to pay for both of us, and I'll drive, okay? I'll do that for you.
Wow.
Be your like personal Uber.
Get your girlfriend to save up. She can be your sugar mama.
I think I have too much pride.
Yeah. Um, anyway,
Yeah,
I
wait,
don't know.
here's a question: would you ever do it? Like, find a sugar daddy? You know, like, is there a world where, like, let's say you have $1,000 to your name, no job prospects, would you do it?
Okay, if you put it in that way, I mean, it sounds like I got nothing going for me. If I had no choice, then yeah, well, like,
Nothing going for you. Okay, how about this? You had the option to work at Walmart. Okay, like minimum
okay,
wage,
but when you say sugar daddy, I think it depends also what you mean, right?
like
If it's
no
like for
no
sexual
no
favors, I
sexual
don't.
stuff. Like, it's just you just have to hang out with someone who's like your dad's age, like dress nice, maybe like a kiss on the cheek, hold hands, like just literally be like a daughter.
Like the holding hands and kissing cheek is a little weird, but I mean, it depends how much they're paying me, I guess.
Damn, look at you. You can be bought. Where's your pride, Katie?
It's free money.
No, it's like stuff like that. I think I'll have too much pride. I don't know if it's a good thing. Like, I know, like they say, like pride goes before the fall or something. But yeah, I think I just have too much pride. I wouldn't want to do something like that for
Sounds like
money.
it's your Achilles heel. But also, I think it's a bit different for guys
Achilles.
and girls, right?
Yeah, maybe, but I just wouldn't want to depend on anyone.
It's unlikely that I would be in that situation anyways.
Once again, you can get a $200 loan from me
Did you
for
know there's a website for that though? I think it's called
there's websites for
Seeking
everything.
Arrangements, where you can see if you can find yourself like a sugar person.
A glucose guardian.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a glucose guardian, but sugar daddy, no thanks. Sugar mama, no thanks.
A glucose card.
He sounds a lot cooler, you know.
That's so nerdy.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you wanted to talk about for like, I guess, in relation to next stages or whatever?
I don't know. At least that's my biggest next stage right now is moving in 2 weeks. It
Oh
almost
yeah.
doesn't feel real. Like,
Honestly, the 2 weeks is gonna be over before you know it, and then it's
yeah,
literally I mean, like, for me, it's just I need to look for work. And I mean, since I got back together with my boyfriend, I guess that's maybe the more interesting thing is just that
mhm.
we're trying to figure things out now and like talk a lot about a lot of stuff that we didn't talk about before. And it really does feel like a learning process.
Yeah. And like, obviously, I think it's important to do like the whole learning stuff. It's also kind of like I find it's like the worst, not like the worst parts of a relationship, but like talking about your feelings and stuff is just sometimes it can get very annoying. But yeah,
I
personal opinion.
mean, yeah, I don't know. We prior to this basically haven't ever talked about our feelings, so we are not at that stage.
Yeah.
um but yeah, it's definitely weird, like the whole like being in this learning process, I'm gonna call it.
Mhm.
It definitely feels it's strange.
I believe in you.
And I guess initially the notes we made for this section was about like breaking up and stuff, which we made these notes. I'm pretty sure I wrote that like a
Yeah.
while back.
Yeah, it was probably one of our first couple because when we first started the podcast, we wrote a bunch of episode ideas. So
Yeah, I mean we can still talk about it. Like
yeah,
that if you think that if you break up, there's like different sorts of situations, and like, is it possible, I guess, for one to like actually stay friends with your ex, I suppose.
Once again, I am not an expert at breaking up or
Oh,
having exes. I mean,
I mean,
I
so
have
far
done.
you have zero experience with that, and
I
I,
broke up with my grade eight
yeah,
sweetheart.
you were together for like what, a month?
Yeah, I don't even know if it was a month. I say a month, but I don't actually remember how long it was.
Didn't you say you're not even friends with her on Facebook anymore or
I don't.
something?
I don't even know. It's not like I actively go look and see what she's doing. Like I haven't Googled. I don't think we're friends anymore. I don't know. Like it was a summer love. Yeah,
Oh
no, it
God.
wasn't anything.
I mean, yours 0 for 0 or
I'm
zero
what?
0 for 1 because
Zero for one
you
for what?
staying friends with an ex,
Oh,
which, yeah, I don't even know if that counts as an ex. So really, it's like 0 out of 0.5 maybe.
yeah. I mean, are you? You're also not friends with your ex?
I'm 0 for 2 because the first
Yeah.
one, definitely I'd never be friends with him because
Yeah,
he's,
but I wouldn't say you're 0 for 2. You were kind of still friends with your ex, kind of. Like you guys started talking again.
yeah, but then it turned into us getting back together,
Yeah,
and
gross.
and I think I talked to you about this. Like, if we hadn't decided to get back together, at least at this point, I don't think I could have been friends with him.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know if it's possible to be friends. So far, in my experience, no. Maybe down the road, but
Well, down the road, this is
yeah,
gonna last forever, Kate. P.
you can't say anything lasts forever. Nothing does.
That's true. It's like that Green Day song. It's like your shadow's the only thing that walks beside you.
Huh.
Boulevard of Broken Dreams.
Oh,
Yeah,
I only know the chorus probably.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know. I think we've discussed this, right?
Yeah.
Relationships are freaking hard.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
yeah.
realistically, I don't know if I would stay friends if I broke up with my girlfriend. I mean, I think one thing is we have a lot of mutual friends, so like I think it'll be unavoidable so that like we'll see each other again afterwards. But yeah, I don't think I would want to stay friends. It's just that there's like so much history, and also like I think in order to actually truly be friends, you have to be happy if they're in a relationship with someone else. Like that you'll be like, oh yeah, like congrats, like or like, oh wow, this person's pretty, like I think you guys will get along with each other and stuff. But I don't think I could ever do that, especially because I've been dating my girlfriend for so long that I just don't see how it would be like okay. But who knows? I don't know.
It's so hard to say. Obviously, both of us, in terms of like dating a bunch of people, are very inexperienced. But even like, I don't think it's necessary to be experienced in that way. But um, like for me, even actually being in a relationship, I feel so inexperienced. Like literally, this is my second boyfriend, and like we're literally in this learning phase, and there's so little we know, and there's so much that we're trying to figure out together, and it's super weird. There's just like, how do you get to a point where you really have things figured out?
I mean, I think that just goes to like the whole point where we talk about every time we don't actually know anything. Like I don't think you'll ever figure everything out. But that's the beauty of life.
But some people, I feel like they're so sure, like, this is the person, that I want to spend the
I
rest of
think they're
my
just less
life with.
skeptical. I wouldn't say gullible, but I think there's just certain people out there who believe more. And not that I think we do believe, but like we're not like that faithful. If that makes sense, as in like we don't believe in like there's nothing I believe in 100%. Like no matter what you tell me, like I'm always slightly skeptical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think for me, it will just be a matter of me thinking about it logically and deciding like whether I think we're happy together and compatible. And then at that point, it's just like commitment. Like, I would probably just be deciding like, yeah, I'd be happy to like be committed to you for the rest of my life kind of thing. Which I don't know. We're obviously not at that stage, but maybe
Yeah, I mean,
some
I
point
think,
down the
especially
road,
because you
the
guys just got
conversation.
back together, right? It's not like you guys are gonna, yeah, like I think that's a bit too early. Be like, hey, no, we just got back together, but about time to put a ring on this finger.
No, but I think maybe sometime down the road that's a conversation we'll have. Who even knows?
Yeah. I'm expecting you to get married soon. I want to get invited. I want there to be an ice cream bar and a drinks bar and a lot of good food.
That sounds very expensive. Also, I'm only
Well, I'm not paying
24,
for it.
Matthew.
I'm not paying for it, so I just want barbecue, okay? Like have
Who
some good.
has barbecue at their wedding?
I don't know. Okay, maybe not barbecue, but like I know like a lot of weddings have like a buffet style because it's like cheaper to have a buffet than to have a set menu for everyone because it's also a lot more hassle to plan something with a set menu. But yeah, I want you to have a set menu. But obviously like the dessert bar
What
and
can I
also like
expect
the
at your
alcohol.
wedding, Matthew?
I have no idea. I mean, I don't have many, like, I don't envision my wedding to be something, so I'll just let my girlfriend or whoever my fiance will be.
You know,
I'll let them
weddings
decide.
are so expensive, though.
Yeah, I hope that whoever I marry is reasonable. Like, I hope they are. I mean, I don't think I'd get married with someone if I think they're unreasonable.
I honestly, it's quite ridiculous though how expensive weddings can get. Like, they can get to be, I'm pretty sure, like, well, I don't know what the max is someone spent on a wedding. I'm sure it's something ridiculous for someone super
Yeah,
rich, but on average, I think at least like a couple, like tens of thousands of dollars.
yeah.
I don't know what the average is. You know what?
I
I'm
think
just
that's
gonna
why.
Google this.
Yeah, but I think that's why a lot of people want to just have small weddings, is because it's ridiculous to throw a big one. Like, you just have to rent the venue.
Oh God, an average wedding in Canada costs approximately $42,000 in 2017.
Not bad. I can afford that.
You would literally have to save so much just to have a freaking
Yeah.
wedding.
But yeah, I mean, I don't want to spend that much on a wedding just because I'd rather spend it on like the honeymoon or just save to like buy a house. But yeah, I mean, things you gotta do for love. You also gotta buy the ring, which is ridiculously expensive. It's not like you have to pay for it all by yourself. And I mean, at least you guys will be making money. I hope.
Yeah, I know, but that's still a lot of money for a freaking one day thing.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, you also rent a hotel, don't you? Isn't that customary
For what?
for the night?
Oh, for you to spend the night in?
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
know
know.
actually.
Holy crap, Matt, that's a lot of money.
Once again, $200. It's all yours. Let me speak at your wedding, and it might go up to 250.
Wow. Anyways, I don't know. I think that's pretty much all I have to say. I can't
Yeah,
think
no,
of
I think it's
anything
probably
else.
best if we end it. I mean, I was just joking, but it is getting quite long. Quickly update
Um,
your week. How was your week?
um, it was another week of lack of motivation and I didn't really do anything. I didn't work out at all week until today where I went for a run and then I actually did a workout. Yeah, I didn't do anything this week. Next week I actually have made some plans, so hopefully it'll be better. But yeah, then I'm spending this weekend with my boyfriend. We're gonna go hiking on Sunday and then we're gonna make pretzels tomorrow, so it'll be fun. Also, I told my mom that just today that we got back together and she was not very pleased. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, makes sense. But yeah, what
that's
other plans
that's
do you have
me.
next week then, besides your boyfriend?
Next week I'm gonna catch up with a friend from elementary school that we still keep in touch, but we usually will hang out like once a year, like not very
Mhm.
often. And so I think it's been about a year since the last time we hung out. And
That's nice.
yeah, and then I am going to go to the Apple store to get my battery replaced because the battery life on my phone sucks
Mhm.
now. And I also need to probably book to get an oil change for my car because I'm pretty sure I'm long overdue for one. I think I was supposed to get one a year ago and I never did.
Damn. But I mean, it's like you haven't been driving that much.
Yeah, I mean, especially the first couple of months of this year. I literally went from, okay, I got gas in December and then I didn't fill it again until May. So, yeah, anyway, hopefully next week's better. And I actually need to get back into working out consistently because I don't want to revert, you know? Anyway,
I think it's unavoidable to
I mean,
revert a bit.
eventually, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if like realistically, if I do start working out, I don't think I'll be able to keep it up. That would take a lot of commitment. Anyway, and then I should actually probably start looking and applying for more jobs next week too. Anyway, yeah, what about you?
Last day of TAing today. Watched a video with them. It's fun, I guess. I mean, I'm glad it's over. I just have to mark a couple things, then wait for my paycheck, and then it'll all be worth it. And then what else did I do this week?
I get to finally stop hearing you complain about TAing.
No, I have to TA again next semester, but
Oh yeah.
it'll just be less intensive because this one's a 2-month course, so everything's jam-packed. So every week I had to do a lab and stuff. But yeah, next semester it's gonna be like the normal 3.5 months, so I only have to do something like every other week, so it should be a lot easier. What else did I do this week? Yeah, nothing much. Go to the lab. I lost my spoon. Like, I literally have no idea where I put it, but I lost my spoon, which is kind of frustrating. But next week also, I think I'll be happier. Part of me thinks that tomorrow's Monday just because we used to record these on Sundays, but now it's like, oh my God, tomorrow's Saturday, so I go to school on Mondays anyways, but like, just feels like my weekend's gone, but like I still have to live through my entire weekend. But anyways, next week should be better. I think we're having a group outing on Friday, so that'll be really interesting. We're going mini golfing in this like glow in the dark golf course, so who knows how that'll be. This weekend, I think I'll start looking at insurance as well as the Wi-Fi, just get that all figured out. Yeah, I mean, after that, it's just one more episode with you and get some alcohol to celebrate. So like, yeah, I think it'll be good next 2 weeks. And then I'm also taking the first week of September off. So just going to enjoy my life because I've been kind of tired with research because nothing works. But
didn't you say it's getting a bit better or something though?
yeah, I just need to run some controls. So before I have those controls, I'm not going to celebrate because it could just be a false positive. So, but I mean, at least something's happening, so it might be good. I don't know.
I mean, your week that you're taking off, obviously you're taking it partially just to get settled into the new place,
Yeah.
but I don't think you'll need the whole week for that. So are you going to do anything fun as well during that week?
I haven't really planned it, but I think honestly a lot of it will be like furniture shopping.
Oh, really?
At least one day, I think, and also just getting a lot of like food supplies. So like just because we don't have a car, right? So we'll need to get like rice. I think we're probably gonna get some flour. We're gonna get a bunch of spices and just like really stock up on a lot of necessities.
I mean,
Like
if you
even
guys live
before-
downtown, at least like everything's within walking distance.
Yeah,
right?
so it shouldn't be too bad. We also live really close to the shopping mall, Eaton Center. So
Oh, that's the big mall, right? Yeah.
yeah. I mean, honestly, don't know how I'll be, but if you ever want to come visit, if we buy a couch, I'll tell you. Sleep on the couch.
Cool.
Yeah. Rent free, or maybe I'll charge you.
Wow.
I'll do double.
Matthew. I mean, realistically, even if I did visit, it's not going to be this year.
Well, obviously not this year, but like I'm hoping 2021. See how it goes.
Hopefully 2021 is a better year than this one is.
This year's been great for me. It actually hasn't been bad. I'm just the most disappointed thing I am about everything is that a lot of our conferences got canceled, so we were supposed to go to New
Hawaii.
York and stuff. Yeah,
New York. I
Yeah,
mean,
New York was in May, but it got canceled.
yeah, you don't want to go anywhere in the States right now.
Yeah, that's true.
But you know what's interesting is that I think I saw uh, a headline or something that said there was a survey taken and some percentage that was pretty big, maybe around 50% of Canadians said that 2020 has been the worst year of their lives. I mean, for me, it's not the worst year of my life. It
Yeah.
just hasn't been a good year.
We've also just been very lucky, I think. Like, not no one that we know has been affected by Corona. Like, I know
Yeah.
the numbers are low, but I think if someone I knew passed away or something, then,
Oh, yeah.
more
Um,
affected. Or if you're a business owner or had a job and you lost your job, whereas like for both of us, we're both students, it's not like you can really lose anything.
yeah. And I mean, even then, I don't know anyone who is affected in that way either. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know someone who's a business owner who like lost their whole business or something like that. Like, I don't know anyone personally who was severely impacted in any way, including like in that way
Yeah.
or that they got sick. But also, I mean, I don't know about Ontario, but BC's numbers are shooting back up.
Oh, okay. I assume everywhere is shooting back up just because like people are getting more relaxed about it. But yeah, just gotta wear your mask, wash your hands.
I think it is weird that masks have become like an actual, like a normal thing now.
Like it's one of those things where I feel weird when I see someone without their mask. It's like, yo, what are you doing? It just feels weird. But anyways, I think we should actually stop it.
All right, I guess that wraps up our second last episode.
Yes.
We have next episode to look forward to, which is our very last one, which will be our death happy whatever
The
episode.
death episode. I'm gonna call it Happy Death.
um, yeah. So yeah, I guess that's it for today. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening, and hope to see you for our last episode.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.